Alright, welcome back to another video where I explain my drawing process. So here I am drawing Nami in the style of this Rolling Stone cover, which is of Sabrina Carpenter. Of course, I think you know who that is, famous pop star, singer, artist. Now here I'm just sketching out, using that reference as a reference and drawing the pose. And then here I'm sketching out the background with a couple of loose sketches with some pencil, like digital pencil, of course. And then there I just accidentally drew the wrong layer. So what you're seeing here is I'm blocking out the background with solid colors first, and then adjusting everything as I go. I'm trying out different brushes here. I do have like a brush pack, and maybe I'll share it in the future, but at the moment it's just like taken off other artists. So, and here I'm trying out all these different textured brushes. I do like these textured backgrounds. I think they look really cool and nice. I noticed that in the reference photo it's much more yellow, and so you can see me trying to fill in those yellows there and trying to add textures and trying to do something with the trees. Here I'm trying to draw without the reference photo, and then I think I have it up on a different window which you can't see, and I'm alt-tabbing and just trying to reference it. And so here I am continuing to work on the background, and it's not that detailed. I'm trying to make it nice and kind of impressionist, but not really. And here I'm lasso tooling to add in some of the reflections that are in the reference photo as well. And yeah, as I keep working on this, you can see that I'm like trying out different techniques and styles to get some of these textures looking more kind of free-flowing and natural, but it's hard, and the hardest part for me is definitely getting the colors right. As you can see, I'm adjusting the colors a lot. Now, if you do like this sort of process run through, I do have a full version of my process, and it's like the entire hour or so of me working on this, and it's available on my Patreon. But yeah, it's not very good because I go silent for like half of it because I was sick when I did this piece, and you can hear I'm still recovering from that. Now here I'm starting to work on the details, and I like to start with the eyebrows and the eyes. And this is supposed to be Nami, and I felt like this wasn't giving that the vibe of Nami. It was just like random girl. So I just started over. Again, I like to start with the eyes and the eyebrows. And this one again, I did fix that. I was like, God, the mouth is big. So here, I'm just putting in all the details. And as you can see, my line art style is very like sketchy and loose. It's changed over the years. If you look at my old art, it's much more refined, much more intentional and delicate. But I don't know, over the years I've just gotten not lazy, but more like there's so much I could be drawing, and I don't want to waste too much time with this one. And here I fit in that arm. I noticed that it's a little bit chunky or thick compared to what I want to do. Same with the legs. I feel like the legs I could have made a bit more slender, but I think it's fine from a distance. And what you're not seeing here is that I'm actually alt-tabbing and referencing the photo a lot. The Sabrina Carpenter Rolling Stones cover reference photo. And the hardest part was getting the feet right, but nobody really looks at those, so I just didn't want to spend too much time with that. Now at this stage, what I'm doing is I'm lasso tooling around the whole figure, and what I'll do is I'll clean it up a little bit, and then I'll fill it in with a solid color, and then I'll work from there. So this is again my lazier coloring style, and the reason I did this was because I was really sick on the day and I didn't want to spend too much time working on this piece. And what you can see here is I'm cutting out the area for the dress, and then I'm going to fill in the color for the dress. And I figured because Nami's got orange hair instead of blonde hair like Sabrina does, I figured the blue would be a nice contrast to that, and it looks quite nice, I think. And yeah, now when it comes to digital art, I feel like there's a lot of freedom and a lot of creativity that can be brought out. And what I do like about the digital platform is it's so much less cleanup afterwards, because there is no cleanup. It's literally just sit down, draw, and then leave. Because I do enjoy traditional art, but only on a rare occasion. The most frustrating thing for me when it comes to traditional art, drawing on pen and paper, is the cleanup. And that's why for pieces that have color and that need to be painted, such as this one, I like to use digital art. It just makes it so much more easy to experiment with colors and play around with colors, because figuring out colors on like paints and like physical media is so hard, and I just think it's very, very difficult. So here I'm blocking the shadows first, and I'm using the reference as reference for these shadows and lights. And because of this style that I'm going for with the lasso tool and bucket fill style, I have to be very, how do I say, not intentional, but I have to be wary of how I fill in these colors. Because if you don't do it right, like these work as sort of like contour lines, similar to like the topological like map things. It's sort of like that, where every shape you put down kind of dictates a different dimension, and so it's important to be intentional with it and not be lazy. And I have to decide how many layers of shadows I want, because in like anime and animated media, it's a lot simpler. So you only get like one main color, and sometimes you get one shadow, sometimes you get two shadow colors. Now this part was challenging for me. This is drawing like the see-through texture of the dress. Now if I was doing like a more detailed rendering style, this probably would have been easier, but because of the style I chose to go with, this is really challenging. You can see that like I can't figure out the right way to do the shadows. I feel like this was not right, not correct, so I ended up undoing it all. I think, you see, did I undo it? No, I kept going. Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I do it again. I made the shadows a bit more gentle there. I think it looks better too. Yeah, and then I just worked that way throughout the whole dress, and then after that is working on the rock and trying to blend her into the background a bit. Yeah, I think I just realized that I forgot to color in the earring. I think later on I just hide that flaw by just adding some highlights on it instead. Yeah, so you might notice that there's no highlights yet, and that's because what I like to do is, after I do all the colors on the bottom, I like to take a 15-point brush, and on a new layer I get a white color, and then I draw in like edge light and then highlights, and like the eyes highlight, the nose highlights, yeah, something like that, as you can see. Yeah, I did color in that earring. So it's very sketchy, very loose. Added some ripples in the water. And then I added some glow filter, to make it look nice and shiny, nice and bright, bubbly. Yeah, I think it looks good. Yep, that's about it. thanks so much for watching. Hope you like the video if you see it. Yeah, awesome. See ya.